video 2. So we're going to have a look at making sure that the 4 terms are in the correct order. First of all, you need to have the first 2 terms have to have a common factor. The last 2 terms need to have a common factor. And then the first and the third, and the second and the fourth also have to have a common term. So first 2, last 2, and then 1 and 3, 2 and 4. So let's have a look at the first question I showed you. We notice here the first and the second have a common factor of 3. The last 2 have a common factor of a. And then what we're looking for is, if we ignore the 3 and the a, that and that should exist. So the first and the third should have a common factor, and the second and the fourth should have a common factor. And if they're in that order, then we can factorize it twice, putting the first 2 together and the second 2, and then taking out the thing in brackets as a common factor in the final step. Let's look at this one. So first and second have a common term, that's x. Third and fourth have a common term, that's y. And then also 1 and 3 have a common factor of a, and c there with the second and the fourth. And the reason we're doing it is because very often the arrangement of these isn't right, so we need to rejig it. So what I need to do is make sure that the first and the second have a common factor. So I'm going to rearrange this. Now I can see that a and a are in the first 2, so I'd be happy with that, and b and b are in the next 2, so I'd be happy with that as well. But the first and the third don't have a common factor, and likewise the second and the fourth don't have a common factor. So what I might do is look at the numbers, right? So I'm going to put 3a and minus 3b as my first and second term. Common factor there is 3 and 3. Now I'm looking at a and b here, right? So I rearrange that and that. So I want to put the 2 of these after it then, but I need to have the a first and the b second. So minus ax and plus by. Now let's check our things again. The first 2 terms have to have a common factor. The last 2 terms need to have a common factor, and then it's 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 need to have a common factor. First 2, yeah, we're good. Last 2, yeah, we're good, there's x there. And then the first and the third, we can see there's an a and an a. And the second and the fourth have a b and a b. So we're good to go. All right, so you may have to rearrange it to adhere to those rules. First and second together, third and fourth together, and then 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. Complicated, but you'll get it. Take out a 3 as a common factor out of those. And now what we want to do is have a and b in brackets. So I'm going to take out a plus x here. And when I take out a plus x, I get minus a plus b. And you'll notice here that the signs are the opposite way around. So plus a minus b, minus a plus b. So these things in brackets need to be the same. And if the signs are reversed, it means I should have taken out the opposite sign there. So if I took out a minus x out of that, I'd be left with plus a. And a minus x out of that, I'd be left with minus b. Now those brackets are the same, so I'm going to take out the bracket and everything in it as a common factor. When I take that out of the whole thing, I'm left with 3. And when I take that out of the whole thing, I'm left with minus x. And that's the answer. That's actually quite a complicated one, so I leave you rewatch that video a couple of times.